1 second. Okay. So today we will continue on the traveling dependent origination. This is what we call the samsara or the death rebirth cycle. Once we learn this, we will understand why we in this cycle for a long time. Okay. William, would you do this?
Yes, certainly. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. The unsurpassed, deep, profound, subtle, wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now that I have come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing, I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual meaning.
Thank you. All right. So last time we stopped at the 8 consciousness, right? So we will continue on that, and so we learned all about this already. I do have the record on the website at the end. That remind me. I will give you the link so you can go back to listen to whatever you have not have a chance to listen. Okay.
Thank you.
Let me see this one. Okay, so this is where we left off, right? So basically, in Buddhism, this is how the mind works. When we understand the 8 consciousness, basically we will understand how the mind works. And also later on, we will learn about Buddhist psychology. It will be another section of it. Will help us to that all these things together we call consciousness only. When we say consciousness, it means recognize, knowing, right? But usually consciousness, it means forethought. It's forethought, it's not the true thought. Okay. So for the 8 consciousness, we know that the eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue, the body, all this thing here is controlled by the mind, right? So the eye, when it contact with the form that means the visual object, like a flower, the house, the people or whatever. When we see a person or a flower, that means the eye contact, that visual object. It will create the eye consciousness, and it will deliver the eye consciousness, just like the camera. It will send the object, that means the visual object, into the mind, right? The mind will receive it, and it will put into the brain, into the short-term memory. And this one right here, because this is the one we call the self delusion, self view, self pride, and self love. That means it's ego, right? So whatever the data come from here, this one want to know the detail. So where the detail come from? From the alaya. The alaya we call the storehouse. That means the storage. It will store what? The knowledge, the experience, the karma that we create in the past. Good, bad, karma, all here. Hatred, ignorant, arrogant, all and greedy, all those things will be here. So whatever we take from the outside. It will, when this guy upload the data, the new data will be in here, and it will also, let's say the mana want to know about the, let's say that the eye when we see the rose flower, and the rose flower will be in here. They will send to the mana will send to the mana want to know the detail of the rose flower because they do not know this is the rose flower. When the eye see the rose flower, it doesn't know this is the rose flower. So how do we be able to distinguish? By the distinguishing, that means the mana will talk to the alaya, that means the database. Okay, I want to know the detail of whatever the object I get from here. And you know what? If in the past we already have a chance to hear about the rose flower, or we read that from the book, we learn from teacher, or whatever, those information will become the knowledge, will be here. And the detail, when after the searching, the detail, the result of the search will return to here. Before the mana give the result to the mind consciousness, what they do is they compare the initial data. That means the data they got from the mind consciousness before they upload to here. They compare with the result. When they do the compare, what does that mean? This is where the feeling arrives. Okay. So the feeling we have happy, sad, neutral. That means neither happy nor sad. Okay. Sad or we call suffering, or whatever, right? So when the data come back and the new data, let's say that if we have the new data, it will become the new knowledge. But the result will return here, and it will look, and it will give you the mind consciousness, and the mind consciousness, what the mind consciousness do, it will look into the memory. Then we have the detail. Okay, before I can explain to you this, in the alaya, beside the data we have here, they also have two divisions. There are two divisions. One division we call the seeing division. The other one we call the mock division. What does that mean? For example, when we see the rose flower, the rose flower, they have the shape, right? The color, the shape, all those things we call the mock division. It will be in here. And the knowledge about the rose flower, let's say this rose flower is only good during whatever the season, and this rose flower, we do know, based on the knowledge, we know how to take care of that rose flower in the certain way, in order to do. And those kind of knowledge we call the seeing division. So there are two divisions. The first one is seeing division. That means we see. The second division we call the mock division. That means this is being see. That is the object of the seeing. Does it make sense to you, William?
No, there's something that's confusing me a little bit. So you made the distinction of the appearance of the rose versus other characteristics of the rose. So it would seem to me that the appearance of the rose would intuitively would seem that it would be part of a seeing division.
Yeah, let me show you what I have here so you understand. Let me go back to the original consciousness. Okay, this is the beginning of the selection. When we come to the the form Dhamma, in the form Dhamma, actually, in the form Dhamma, we have two divisions of the eight consonants. That means the alaya. It's inside the alaya. The first one we call the seeing division. The second one we call the mock division. The mock division basically have no nature of its own. We see all sorts of things as having shape, form, mark, or characteristic. But basically, they do not exist at all. It's simply that the eight concepts make them appear. Basically, everything relates to the shape, relates to the color, relates to the form that belong to the mark division. That means this is the object that we see. Does it make sense, William?
Okay. It's the okay, yeah.
Okay. And the seeing division is this is the knowledge about the object. For example, the rose flower. We have the knowledge about the rose flower. Okay, this rose flower can be grown in certain location, and it's only good for in whatever the season, the weather, right? Those are and whatever the knowledge relates to the rose flower, it means seeing division. Does it make sense to you?
Yes.
This is important, very important. If we be able to distinguish the two, then we know that the mind creates things or whatever we see from external, that is the created by the mind. Okay.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you, Tammy?
No, I'm still confused because I thought I understood, but I was understanding the marks to be more the knowledge bank, but the seeing is the knowledge bank of it. But what's the mark then?
Okay, William, can you explain to her?
I think so, yeah. I think so. The marks division is the thing that we see. So the petals, the color, it's just the form of the thing that we see. And then the seeing division is all of the stuff we know about it. And it does seem like the naming of the two divisions seems like it could lead to some confusion, but marks just being like, this is what marks it as a rose because it has this particular form, and then seeing division is just all of the descriptors of things we know about a rose.
Okay, the mark division, basically the form, right? The object. That's what we call the mark division. So whatever the object have the characteristic, the shape, the form, the mark or whatever, those belong to the mark division. So when we see that, the image of that object will be inside the alaya. Just like when we take a picture and we put into alaya, that kind of image. Okay, does it make sense to you, Amy?
Yes, that's much clearer. Thank you.
And the image by itself, it does not help if we do not have the knowledge. So the knowledge will help us to visualize the mark division in the better way, right? That means the knowledge. This is where the seeing. So the seeing is the subject. The mark division is the object. If I put that way, that means easier to understand, right? Right, William?
Yes.
Okay. Thăng Thiện, you understand this, Thăng Thiện?
Seeing division is knowledge, marks division is form.
Yeah, the object, right? The shape of the object or whatever relate to the object. That means you can see. But the knowledge you do not see, right? Do you see the knowledge?
I don't think we see the knowledge.
Yeah, the knowledge is formless. You don't see it. That means seeing division is not the form, but the mark division is the form. The shape, the mark of whatever the object we can see. Okay. How do I put this way? Okay, for example, Steve Jobs, right? He's very famous one day he in 2003 he have a conference meeting with the Microsoft guy, and the Microsoft team show him the new tablet that they just invent. And you know what? They laughed at him. They laughed at the Steve Jobs, and they said that this is the real. If you want to invent, you want to design, this is the real thing. And you know what that means? He looked down. They looked down on Steve Jobs. Due to that insult, from that day on, Steve Jobs, you know what? He would teach the Microsoft a lesson. How? Why? How? So he visualized the tablet, right? Form. And it deeply, that image, it's embedded inside his alaya all the time. Okay? And he visualized, how do I be able to design and to create a device that even better than this. So based on the tablet from the Microsoft, he be able to visualize and to come up with the iPhone. That's what we have nowadays. Does that make sense? So based on the mock division, he be able to simplify, to refine, right, in the better way, even better product than the Microsoft. But without the CN division, that means he the IT. He have a lot of knowledge about technology, right? He very smart because he read many books. He have a lot of experience to in the technology, and also that means he very rich in knowledge as well as experience. Those things we call CN division. Without this, we cannot be able to make the mock to become the better one. You understand? So from the tablet, he be able to come up and redesign to become the iPhone nowadays that we have. So does that make sense to you?
Can I say something? It may make it, I could be totally wrong, but it may make it sound a little simpler. Okay, we've grown up all of our lives being able to see things. So when we see something, we know the knowledge about it, but say we go blind. Okay, somebody says, well, this is a rose. Okay, from our memory and our knowledge of what we've grown up seeing, we already know what it looks like, what it feels like, and everything else because we have that knowledge in our mind already. Am I right?
Okay. Yeah. So basically, does that make sense to you, Thăng Thiện?
What makes sense? The one that you talk about?
Now the CN and the mock division, I
Oh
use
yeah.
Steve Jobs example.
So I see that you say scene division that Steve Jobs has all the knowledge that he have by studying and experience, and then Mark division that he is be able to create the iPhone that the Microsoft think that he's not able to create.
Yeah, the iPhone, that means the one is very, what do you call? It's easy, it's flexible for people can put into the pocket, right? But the iPad, the tablet, you cannot do that. So that is the idea of the mock division. Okay. Cô Hoàng Lý, you understand this, right? Cô Hoàng Lý?
Yes, basically the mod division is absolutely, it's not there, right? It doesn't exist. It just I guess it to fit the word emptiness in Buddhism. it's like it says in here, it doesn't have a nature of its own, but you see it. It seems like it's there, the eighth consciousness, but actually it's not. It doesn't have its own form.
And well, when we see it, we imprint the picture, right, inside the other yeah.
Right.
And due to that, and due to the knowledge we have, the combination of the two, that's how we pray the word.
Yes.
Without this two, we cannot pray the word. Okay. Tell me, you understand, right? Tell me.
Yes, it sounds like the Marx division actually comes first. So when you see something, it activates the Mark division by the qualities of what you're seeing. And then if you have knowledge of it, then the seeing division kicks in with your knowledge bank.
Right, right. So when you see the object, that means the Mark division, you take it in, right? It will trigger you to bring even more, whatever the Mark division you already have in the area, it will take it out, come out with the seeing division as well. That's how you be able to think and visualize. Okay. All right. I hope that makes sense, right? William, right? Makes sense, right?
Yes.
This is very important. Okay. All right. Let me go back. That's how we make the world, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, let me see. This lesson I teach you the kid from fifth grade to seventh grade, even ninth grade as well. So they understand this one very good. Okay, anyway. Okay, where I am. Oh, not this one. Where are you? Okay. So the raw flower, right? When the man asking for, they want to inquiry the detail of the raw flower. So the result come back. The result contain both seeing division as well as the mark division of the raw flower, and it will be locked inside the short-term memory. And therefore, the mind consonant, that means the brain, we be able to visualize, to think, to create, to create idea, to come up with a new idea or whatever when we have the detail. Okay. So, and based on this, well, and that's how you see the raw flower. But for the case of the Steve Jobs, right? So when he look at the tablet, right? The eye consonant will take a snapshot of the picture of the tablets, and it will send to here, and will send to here, and this one will talk to the area of the Steve Jobs. And because Steve Jobs have a lot of knowledge and experience in the technology, so, and he will, that means the result come back with the very rich result come back with the seeing division as well as mark division about the tablets. And it will compare, right? And that means he gets some kind of exciting about what he just see. It will look into this kind of his memory. He be able to visualize, and he be able to come up with a new idea. So he keep go up, he keep go back and go upload and download constantly when he come up with a new idea, right? When he visualize, he come up with new idea. When he thought, when he thinking, That means he will have to upload and download constantly, many rounds. During maybe within an hour or within 5 minutes, he go up back and down for. This the minor is the one in the middle. It's helping the 6 consonant and the 8 consonant. So this guy here doing the upload and download. Okay. And that's how we Steve Jobs be able to refine the product in the way that he wanted. And when he visualizes it, he will visualize the design in his mind. One, the design that he like, he will talk to his team. That means this mind, the mind will control. These 5 concepts here represent the body and the mind, and the body and the mind. Okay, the body and the mind. So that means he come and talk to his team, and also the mind control this one right here to show the That means he using the software to draw the design on the computer and show them the design in the way that so the engineering or whoever the designer will do it for him the way he wants. So that means they will have a lot of conversation, and his mind and his team mind will constantly go back and forth in order to come up with the perfect product of the iPhone that they want. Yeah. Any questions so far? William?
No.
Jenny, you understand, right? Jenny?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Okay. So now we understand how the mind works. And also this one right here, this is we call the emotional affliction. Because of the constant upload and download, constant compare, this is where the emotion comes and the feeling comes, right? All the feeling is subject to suffering. Doesn't matter happy feeling or suffering feeling, they are suffering. Because the happy feeling, when it's go, right? Then the sad feeling comes. That means we suffer, right? So if we hold on to the emotion, we will suffer. Okay, okay, good. That's good.
I
Now,
have a question. Can I ask a question?
yeah.
I'm not sure if I think it's related to this, but there's a couple of concepts that I was wondering about. The 84,000 sufferings. So is that just different feelings? There's 84,000 of them. And then the 52 different minds. Is that different consciousnesses?
Well, can you repeat one more time? You know what? Today I use this monitor. I think it somehow the voice is not that clear. Okay.
I was wondering about the concept of 52 minds.
Oh, 52 mind. Oh, okay. Oh, you talking about Buddhist psychology, right? I'm not too sure you're talking to the same thing. Let me show you what I have, then you tell me it is the thing that you are talking about.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. I have too much thing here. This one is consonant only. Okay. Okay, this is one. Okay. All right. Let me quickly here. Well, see, I think this is good to review for everyone. I think this is for a while. I think most of people already forgot what we learned. Okay. This subject right here, we learn about the consciousness only. Let me show you. Consciousness only. That means only consciousness. And they, in Buddhism, they a school we call consonants only school or yoga kara school. They also the same thing. Okay. This is describe the mind, how the mind works. Okay. 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 In here, let me quickly. The author of this book, he the author of his name is Vasubandu. He the author of the Satcha on the door to understand the 100 Dharma. Okay. And the beginning of the book, he used the Buddha teaching. It's all Dharma have no self. And this is related to the yesterday we learned from my teacher. Okay. And we will come back to this. All Dharma no self. And from this teaching, he come up with two different questions. The first one is, what are the Dharma? Second question is, what does it call no self? Why does it call no self? Okay. What are all Dharma? It means 100 Dharma. In the 100 Dharma, it divides into 5 categories. The first category is the 8 consciousness. That means the one we just learned, right? The first 5, the eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue, the body, and the mind consciousness, and the mana consciousness, and the alaya consciousness. That is we call the mind king, because they are the king, right? And the king also needs to have the courtier and subordinate, right, to help him to perform the task for him. Right? So what are the courtier or subordinate? That means the Dharma belonging to the mind Dharma. They have 61. Well, your 52 may be close to this, okay? And the third one is the form Dharma. We will learn the form Dharma. Basically, it's the first 5 senses. That means the eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue, the body, and the 6 object. I mean the visual object, the sound object, the odor, that means the smell, the taste, the object from the tongue, and the touch from the body, and the Dharma is from the mind. Okay. And this one right here, this one basically, this is the external, whatever you see from the external, the object, this is related to the form Dharma. Yeah. As a well, we will learn about this later on. Unconditional Dharma, okay, this is for the non-existent. In the first 4 categories represent for the Dharma existent or conditioned Dharma. That means all form arise from the condition. Okay, when the condition arise, they become existent. When the condition end, the condition become formless. Okay, because they decay, right? Okay. The last one we call the Dharma of non-existence. That means it's not material. In order to practice to liberate ourselves from suffering, we need to practice the non-existence. That means the Dharma. Okay, we will learn about it later on. Okay, let me go through here. What is the 51 in here? The 5 universal interactive. This is you learn about this already, Tammy, right? The contact, attention, feeling, perception, volition, or the action, right? This is the first model of the Buddhist psychology. It's this one work with the 8 consciousness, and that's how we have the Buddhist psychology. The second model is the 5 particular state, right? It's also the Buddhist psychology, right? If the position is the positive, is the optimistic scenario, then we will be able to use this second model to, let's say that we are dealing with the anger. And when we use this model, we be able to control our anger, right? And in order to eradicate the anger or remove the anger from it, we need to use the second model and to contemplate the design, right? This is the good design, not the bad design. That means I want to have the happy ending for whatever the problem I'm dealing with. For example, the anger, right? The determination, okay. That means from the Buddha teaching, we be able to understand the both good, the bad thing about the anger, and also we learn about the solution. That means the loving kindness. The mindfulness, that means the conduct of the loving kindness when we dealing with the anger. In order to overcome the anger or to transform the anger, we have to practice loving kindness. And in order to truly, so we have to learn the conduct of the loving kindness through the story. That means we see how the Buddha or Bodhisattva practice the loving kindness, and so therefore we remember the conduct, and we be able to use it to apply to our own practice. And concentration, that means both determination and mindfulness. It will give our mind will not have the ill will against the person who caused us suffer. Okay, this is what we call concentration. Due to the concentration, the mind becomes clear, and therefore we have wisdom. We can think, we can make a better judgment. Okay, these two models together is for the Buddhist psychology, and 5 plus 5 is 10, 11 wholesome. That means we have every living being have the 11 wholesome within them. Okay, we learn more into this later on. And every living being, we also have the 6 fundamental afflictions. What are they? Greed, hatred, ignorance, arrogance, doubt, evil view. Evil view, that means the view of the body, extreme view, the view of grasping at the prohibition, the view of grasping as view, and improper view. Okay, we learned this already, but later on when I have time, I will review this thing for you. Each one of these fundamental afflictions, when we have reached right in our mind, what happened? It will have a lot of this is the 20 derivative affliction. That means depend on, well, each one of this have a set of all these things arrive together. I will show you how they work. Okay. I do have the model here. You know what? Okay, let me quickly here. Let me go back to here. When our mind reach right, what do we have? Consumption. That means the greedy person, they don't want to let other people know they are greedy. That means they consume, they cover up, right? Well, they also selfish, right? They also jealousy. That means when someone better than them and they want to have that thing, they are jealous, right? If they jealous, if they cannot get it, you know what? They become anger, right? And when they become anger, you know what they do? They have a desire to harm them, to harm other people. Okay. And they also deceitfulness. That means they are not the honest person, right? And they are good at flatter. That means if they want to get something from us, they say nice things to us. That's what flattery means. And you know what? When they come to the point desire to harm other people, that means they are lacking of innocence. That means when we do the bad thing, we don't feel shame to ourselves. Innocent, that means to ourselves. When lack of shame before other, that means when we do the bad thing, we don't feel shame to other people. Yeah. When the people have lack of innocence and also lack of shame before other, this is the most evil person. You know what? They can do all kind of bad things. And you know what? When we know this kind of people, we better stay away from them. Um, and also, they are restlessness. That means their mind is constantly unrest. They do not have faith, right? Of course, they are negligent and destruction, and they fear. They also fear because they fear other people will take away their property and anxiety. So that's how. So do you tell me? Do you see the connection between this and this?
Yes.
Okay, this is important. This is the model of the Buddhist psychology. This is how we understand how my emotional work. The Western psychology, they do not have this concept. And it's very tough for them to understand the mind of the patient. And therefore, they cannot be able to help the patient when the patient has depression. The only thing they can do, they give the anti-depression pill. The more we take that pill, the more worse we get. Yeah. So basically, the eight consciousness. Okay, now that this is the 20, right? So basically, we keep going to. Okay, let me. The four well, when we do bad thing, right? Let's say that we have a when we have a chance to help someone to do good thing, but we do not do it, and later on we feel when we have a chance to help someone to do bad thing, but we don't do it. Later on we feel regret. That is the bad deed. That is the bad regret. But let's say that when we have a chance to help someone to do good deed, and we did it, and we help them, and after we help them, we regret. That is the bad regret. So the regret, it depends on the situation. It becomes good or bad, right? If someone sleep, right? If we need to rest, so to recoup our energy, that is good sleep. But when we sleep, that means 8 or 10 hours every day, and that means this is the bad sleepness. Okay, so depend on the situation. Okay, I just want to go through this quickly. I don't want to spend too much time here. So let's come back to here. The 8 consonants and the 51 belonging Dharma, it formed the Buddhist psychology. It is what did you see this model before? It is the 52 mind. Is that what you are talking about?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I hadn't seen it before. Thanks for sharing it with me.
Okay, so we are on the right track.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, that's good. So basically, all right, let me. So now we understand the 8 constants, how it works, right? Let me see. Well, okay. I will explain to you quickly about the no self and the emptiness. They are the same thing. They are not two different things. When we're talking about emptiness, it means no self. Does that make sense to you, William?
Yes.
Okay. And when we're talking about no self, what the no self mean? It means that there are two different type of no self. The first one is because of phenomenon, that means it includes both material and living being. And Dharma have no self. That means it's referred to the material. It's more on the material. And the living being is have no self. That means it refers to the living being. This is the only two type of no self that we have. When the Buddha said that all Dharma have no self. Okay. Right. And the no self, just like I give you the example of the table, right? The table, when depend on the condition, all the conditions are put together, that means the wood, the carpenter, the design, and the nail, and the whatever they put together. That means when the condition arrive, they will form the existence. We label it, we call a table. But a table is been just labeled a table. But when we take up each part of the table out, which one is represent the table? Nothing. So basically, the table have no self. The same thing with us. The human, we have five skandha: the form, the feeling, the perception, the mental formation, and the consciousness. The form, that means the physical body, and the sick consciousness, right? Do we have, let's say that Thích Giả Pháp, right? Which one in my form? That means if we did the earth, the water, the wind, and the fire. So which part of the element it represent me? And which part of my organ represent me? Nothing. And the name, it come from my Thích Giả Pháp, it come from my teacher. He's the one who gave me the name, right? And if William, your name, it comes from your parent, right? So those things, it's just been labeled. And the feeling, it's not me, right? The feeling is not me, it's not I, it's not mine. Feeling, it's just a feeling, it's just a phenomenon. When we happy, it's just a feeling, it's just a phenomenon. It's not I, it's not me, it's not mine. When the perception, when we think, right? It's changing, right? The mind keeps changing. That means our thoughts come and go. Which one is mine? Which one is me? And which one is I? Nothing. And the mental formation is just the psychology mind, right? The mind of the psychology. Which one is mine? Nothing. The consciousness, that means the eight consciousness, or the content inside the consciousness, which one is I and mine? Nothing. So truly, the five skandha is no self. But in the Heart Sutra, the Buddha said that form is emptiness, emptiness is form. What does that mean? It means that within this body, we also have emptiness. Why is that? Because from our eight consciousness, the eight consciousness is the alaya. We have beside the knowledge, the experience, all kinds of karma, good, bad karma we have in there. We also have the Buddha nature. It's pure. The Buddha nature is formless. That's why when a person passes away, right, the alaya leaves the body. That body it's a form. Now it becomes the alaya. When it can leave the body, alaya becomes formless. And alaya carry the content of the good karma and the bad karma. Whatever we put in there, that is the power it will create the border body. That is the intermediate state. And that's how we have another 5 skandha body. Okay? And the 5 skandha of the body, it belong to one of the 6 parts. That means the God, that means the heaven being, the human, the asura, and the animal, the hungry ghost, and the hell. But this body, we attach to that body, it becomes form, right? And within that body, we also have the alaya, consciousness. It also have the formless, right? It's emptiness. And when the alaya leaving the body or leaving the form, right? It becomes formless. But if within the formless or emptiness, it also have the form. Why is that? Because we have the mark division and the seeing division. These two right here create the form. Does it make sense to you, William?
That the marks division and the seeing division create the form. Yeah, the idea that the alaya consciousness, the kind of essence of the alaya consciousness is what makes all of our awareness and perception possible. I understand it in some way, but there's also like a big part that seems mysterious and hard to grasp.
Look at this. In the empty sky, right? When you look at the sky is everywhere. Does that sky belong to the certain area? In Vietnam, the sky is different than in US. Or when you look at the sky inside when you look at the space inside your cup of water, is that space is different from the sky space? Nothing. They are the same. Right? Even though from the empty space, that means the sky, or the form is free within there. The form come and go, but the sky and the space always there. It never changes. If you use this concept, you will understand the Buddha nature is the same thing. Therefore, even though the killer, even though the most evil person, like the killer, right? If they meet you remember the one who killed the 999 finger and make the necklace that he put on his neck, right? Mm-hmm. And he be able to the Buddha be able to help him to convert him to his follower, and later on become the Arhat. That means he the sacred one. Without the Buddha nature, the killer is always the killer. Never be able be transformed into the good person. Never. But that's not the case, right? Because every living being have the Buddha nature. Doesn't matter how evil they are, but if they have the good affinity with the sickly one or with the good advisor, they be able to practice the Dharma. They be able to become the better person, even good, even become the Buddha. This is so powerful. Right? Okay, all right. Well, it's tough, but to me, I see things that I see when I contemplate it and I see it. Well, to me, it's a little bit easy, but I don't know. Maybe depend on because it's still new to you. It's still new to you. That's okay.
I think and you can correct me. I think what he's trying to say is, okay, if you look at the night sky, it doesn't matter where we are, anywhere in the world, the night sky looks the same. It doesn't matter whether we're here or in another country, the night sky is still the same. Same way, if you look, like you said, with a cup of water, if you look inside the cup of water, we could all have a cup of water. The cups may be different, but looking inside a cup of water, we all see the same thing. Within ourselves, we all have the potential for the good nature in everybody. You have to project the good nature that we all have it within us.
Oh wow. Okay. Wow. The way that you are playing look like you understand this better. Mm. So the sky or the space inside the cup or inside whatever the shape is just different. That's correct. But the sky, the space is the same. They're no different. Yeah. Just like us, the Alaya, when we've been in the human, or when we've been in the animal, or when we've been in the hell, or hungry ghost of the ghost, or in the Arahat, well, the body form is different, but Alaya always same. Okay. Okay. I think it's I'm already up. So today I just want to introduce you the concept of the no self. So no self is equivalent to the emptiness, and also no self. When we're talking about no self, that means we refer to the material as well as the living being. Okay. So this is a very profound teaching of the Buddha. And the reason is, why do we, what is the benefit of to contemplate on this one? The more we contemplate on this way, it helps us to detach. And the more we detach, the less suffering we get. Okay? It's not easy to dealing with the world, right? Let's say that yesterday my teacher said that if someone scratch at our car, right? Maybe break the window or whatever, right? And we know that person, and we go into sue, and we want to make a big deal out of it, maybe. Yeah, but when we do that, of course, we want to get even, right? But we will create more negative affinity with that. And well, thing never end. That's why the Buddha said that when we using the hatred to deal with the hatred never end. Okay. But when we understand this, even though in that kind of situation, yes, he the one who caused me trouble. But if we understand the law of cause and effect, and we believe that nothing happened without reason, there always a reason behind that, and we accept it, and we just try our best to deal with in the positive way. That means we don't want to create the negative affinity with them. Okay, so we just want to get it over in a good way. Okay, in order to do that, we need to have patience, and we need to have the right understanding. And when we deal in the right way, we will have less suffering. If we focus at if we look at thing at everything is that affinity, then things will become easier. Okay, that's how I always use. Doesn't matter what kind of situation come up. I help them. They come back and they bite. They step on my back. It's okay. That's all right. I say, well, because maybe my affinity with them, maybe at this point is the end. That's all right. I keep walking on my path. But if later on they come back and they need help from me, and they really need help from me, I will, if I see that they really need help, and that is a good opportunity for me to heal the negative affinity that I have with them. Maybe it's good time for me to transform the negative affinity that means the connection into the positive. Okay. Right. So depend on how we understand the Dharma, then you will benefit. The benefit only comes from how you understand it. And we will handle it in the right way, based on our understanding. That's why we have less suffering instead of more suffering. Okay. Okay. Okay, we will stop right here. Anyone have a question for me before we stop? William, you understand, right, William?
Yes, yes.
Always with the Dharma, it's better. Nothing is negative. It's always better. 100% better. Okay. So the more you understand and you contemplate on it, the benefit you will get, it's always better. William, go ahead and
May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with hearts of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of their endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise.
That's good. Okay, okay. Okay, let me we continue on our mention.